is Charles Barnes. I prefer being called Charles because if you call me Mr. Barnes, I think I'm in trouble sometimes. I'm here to give you a prophecy. The reason I'm here is because I think it should be done right now is because of two reasons. Number one, because he gave me the prophecy. And number two is I just found out that Caitlin Lynn named her turtle Buster. Buster is my nickname. And so I don't know why my elders named me Buster. It may be because when I go out and play, I would always seem to tear up my clothes or tear something on that I wore, even my skin sometimes. Well, number two is because God gave me the prophecy, and so he wants me to share it with you. You can ask Katie Lynn why she named her turtle Buster, and maybe you'll have some idea why I was named Buster. Don't be surprised at what you will get when you talk with Katie Lynn. What type of answer you get. Just be ready. Okay. The prophecy is talking about the churches are supposed to come together to form the 7 churches that you see in Revelation. And then, of course, we're going on with Christ. The prophecy was given to me as a task to do. And so, as a child, let me tell you a little bit about my childhood, and then you can see probably why God saw what he saw in me. I'm not sure still at this point. As a child, I was a hard worker, had to do my chores, and so this particular chore was becoming a bother to me. The chore was cutting the grass and cutting the hedges. Man, I did not like that with a passion. And so I started calculating, figuring out ideas, what I could do so I wouldn't have to cut it almost every week or every couple of weeks. So my idea was I'm going to dig up all the grass, clear it out of the yard, and then I won't have to worry about that. So I took the shovel, and of course I dug up the ground and knocked it, took the grass out, shook all the dirt out, make sure the dirt was still there. And so smooth the ground back out, everything was beautiful. Lo and behold, here comes the new grass. I didn't expect that. And so even though the new grass came, I had tilled the soil just right so it slanted and the water ran from the house. So I did some good things, even with my bad intentions of destroying the grass. And so this what is the surprise to me when God came and said, Charles, I want you to plant grass at the church. This was when I was in New Mexico. And you know the time he said that I had a lot to say. But he reminded me that I am the one that asked him into my heart. I am the one that asked him to have a closer walk with him. I am the one that asked him to allow me to do something, his will. And so he gave me a task to do, and immediately fear came in me. I'm kind of scared right now. But fear comes over you, excuses start piling up in your mind why you can't do the task. And so here I am. Well, Lord, I can't do that. I've never been able to grow anything in my life. Oh, Father God, are you sure you chose the right one? I'm the one trying to dig up the grass back there in my childhood to try to destroy it. And so I made so many excuses. Finally, he just said, well, fine. God has a way of saying things to you that it's as if he said, whatever you decide, Charles. I've done what I've done. I've asked you to do what you asked me to ask you to do. In other words, you asked me to allow you to help me, to allow you to do something to show that you are my child. Here it is, a simple thing that you already have done before. Plant some grass in the church. And so I'm thinking about it. Of course, I Went right on out, got some shovels, got some grass, got some fertilizer, got some neutralizer, everything that I thought of to make the grass grow. And here I am, I started digging. Of course, when I mentioned it to, when they saw me digging at the church, and of course the deacons came up, there was one that always, there's one in the church that always kind of belittles you. I shouldn't say always, but not at this church. This is a very motivating church right here, Lincoln Avenue. But at that particular church, one of the deacons just laughed his butt off. I mean, he just laughed and belittled with my effort, every effort that I could give. But the other deacon was encouraging. Oh man, we've never had grass at our church. It's always been rock, it's hard rock, dirt. Let's see what's going to happen. And so I went out there. I didn't know about the birds of the air. Love to eat grass seeds. After I dug up the soil and turned it over, and put the neutralizer down there to get all the acid out, put some fertilizer on the grass, on the dirt. Then I started planting the grass. And here come the birds. So then I put up the scarecrows, so forth, or wannabe scarecrow, if you want to call it that, just a cross with a kind of coat on it and so forth to make it look like somebody there and scare the birds. And of course that worked a little, but it did. The grass is growing, and so the grass grew. During the process of the grass growing, he showed me how grass comes up in clumps. When it comes up, and I have a diagram that you'll see on the screen up there. This is a person from down the street. I wasn't able to get the grass or the yard that I did when I was a child. But just so that you can see an example of what is really going on. Please put that up. Now you see how the ground looks. It looks like all the grass has been removed. And it was turned over, all the chemicals added that I thought was needed to make the grass grow or to get the soil ready for growth. And so notice here, the grass started growing, but notice on that what grew first. The weed. This particular ground had a weed. I mean, it grew out, I thought it was grass. I don't know about all the weeds. But that weed grew, in a round circle so wide, I was so happy that I thought it was grass. But then when I went and lifted up the edge, tried to lift up the edge of the weed, I saw nothing but dirt over there. It was blocking the sun from hitting the ground because it had spread out. And it was only one single root stuck in the ground. Now, grass, on the other hand, when it grew in little shoots, and then I noticed how the shoots tangled together. The baby shoots kind of tangled in with the grown shoots. And so when I stood on that weed, my foot immediately went through the weed to the ground. I almost tripped and fell because it fools you. But when I stood on the grass, that clump of grass, that little single patch of grass, was able to hold me up. And that's what is the church today. One patch of grass that's able to stand this ground, to hold its members up, and to grow children, and to make preachers, and to create people who are outstanding. That little church that I'm talking about wasn't a big church. Probably 2 or 3 of the little churches could fit right here in the same church.